when it comes to the 90s and trading cards, it doesn't get much more iconic than the Marvel Universe cards. Welcome to Pegwarmers, I'm Kevin, and I'm here to talk about toys, or trading cards in this particular episode. Some of the most classic trading cards ever made were the Marvel Universe cards in the 90s. Series 1 was incredibly popular. Series 2, up the ante, and for me personally growing up, Series 3 was where it was at. That was when I was into collecting cards hardcore. Patreon supporter and friend of the channel, Joshua, has lent me his Marvel Series 2 cards, so we can check them out in today's episode. These cards are from 1991, and they start these cards off with Spider-Man. These cards, of course, have the stats on the back and an out-of-costume headshot there with a little description. Spider-Man's got an 8 on agility there, being his highest ability. Ouch! During a nuclear experiment at a high school science fair, honor student Peter Parker was bitten by an accidentally irradiated spider. Card number 2, Daredevil. I wonder how they picked the order for the characters. Was Daredevil super hot in 91? Had Frank Miller's run on him made him super popular? His highest stats are agility and stamina, but they're only 4s. Daredevil's taste buds are so acute. He can identify all the ingredients and things he eats and drinks. The Thing rocking it at number 3. Marvel Girl. You don't see her in the red and yellow too often. Phoenix, we get into the multiverse stuff here, her little did-you-know fact. The future that the Phoenix fled is only one of many possible futures, and seems to be an alternative reality to our own. Submariner, riding some crazy beast. I'm not a huge Submariner guy, so I don't know what's going on there. Mr. Fantastic showing off his tech skills here more than his stretchy ability. He's got an 8 on intelligence. Iceman, a personal favorite of mine back in the day. Ooh, his highest skill is 3 for durability. Next up is Shadowcat. She's got way better stats than Bobby Drake. The Human Torch. Nightcrawler, this is some classic artwork here for him. Agility, same as Spider-Man. Captain Britain. We're only 12 cards into the set, and we're going hard on the X-Men. The man, the myth, the legend, Iron Man. He does not get to show off his face on the back of the card. I thought maybe that was the thing they were doing. Strength and speed are his top stats. The Punisher. The little stats on the back really do help you see who is just a generic human. Back to the X-Men with Cable. Did you know that Cable has a cybernetic arm, leg, and eye? Whoa, Deathlock rocking number 16 here. Did you know he weighs 825 pounds? Must be all those metal parts. Number 17, Gambit. 18, Psylocke. We've got the Vision coming in at 19. The jewel on the Vision's forehead is a battery that absorbs solar energy that powers him. Number 20, Hawkeye. Now we run into some of these characters that I highly identify with the 90s. Granted, Silver Sable here came out in the 80s, but I guess because I became aware of her and she doesn't have the prestige level of being one of the 60s characters that have been around for all of Marvel's history, I just kind of lumped them together. Night Thrasher, I had no idea his first appearance was in Thor 411 from 1989. Here we've got Puck. Puck is a highly accomplished bullfighter. Union Jack. Quicksilver, followed up by Wanda, aka Scarlet Witch. The X-Men keep rolling on with Havoc, card 28, Iron Fist. Iron Fist was once the partner of the hero named Luke Cage, also known as Power Man. That's a pretty lame fun fact. Adam Warlock. He's got some pretty impressive stats on the back there. Don't mess with Adam Warlock. Wonder Man. He's the younger brother of Grim Reaper. Sasquatch. Card 31. We get a civilian head for him. For a time, Sasquatch was a woman, when his soul inhabited the body of Alpha Flight teammate Snowbird. We started the whole card series with Spider-Man. We've already had Iceman. We have to finish his amazing friends with Firestar. Card number 33, Death's Head. This was a character I did not understand what was going on with this guy back in this time period. I would see things about him like promo stuff in comics I was reading. Let's check him out here. He's got pretty impressive strength, stamina, and durability. His first appearance was Dragon's Claw number 5 in 1988. I don't even know what that comic book is. Don't call Death's Head a bounty hunter unless you're tired of breathing. This peacekeeping cyborg from the future is all business. He doesn't care who, what, when, where, or how his next victim is as long as he's getting paid. Apparently he's got a pet vulture. Speedball, U.S. Agent, Banshee, McGann, Jubilee. First appearance, X-Men 244, May 1989. Man, she's got some pretty weak stats. Bold choice here as they decided to feature Ghost Rider without his motorcycle. Number 40, Beast. They show Hank McCoy there before he turned off furry. The Beast can write with both hands simultaneously and untie complex knots with his feet. Good to know. Invisible Woman. I like the cards where they kind of show off their powers in the artwork. Number 42, Rogue. Let's see what they have to say about Rogue in this era. In a way, Rogue is 2 women in 1, and both of them are bad news to bad guys. She's got all the powers of the former Ms. Marvel, super strength, invulnerability, the ability to fly, plus her natural mutant ability to absorb the mind and powers of others. Did you know Rogue's controversial past involves a criminal career under the wing of her shape-shifting foster mother, Mystique? I mentioned this in the Wolverine card set episode that I did, but these kind of card sets were how we learned so much about these characters in a pre-internet age, in a pre-YouTube age, where you can't just type into Google or YouTube, History of the Kingpin. You could find out so much about these characters, and I loved studying these cards. Josh, the viewer who lent me these cards to do this episode, even mentioned that him and his friends would use the stats on the back to help settle some of those age-old disputes over which character could beat which character. 43 is She-Hulk. 44 is Doctor Strange. 45 is the Silver Surfer. 46 is Storm in her black outfit. Did you know that Storm suffers from claustrophobia? I don't think her stats reflect her Omega-level mutant status. Number 47, Archangel. After losing his original feathered wings in a battle when he was still called Angel, multimillionaire Warren Worthington III was forced to have organic steel wings grafted to his back by the arch-villain Apocalypse. Number 48, Thor. Eric Masterson is the first mortal to be given the powers of an Asgardian god. Quasar. Number 49. Before his encounter with Eon, Wendell Vaught was an agent of the spy organization known as S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, there he is. Wolverine. Wolverine's healing powers make him virtually immune to poisons and drugs. Number 51, Cyclops. They seem to like to put 2 X-Men together as they go through this series. Nick Fury. Before Nick Fury joined S.H.I.E.L.D., he was one of the top agents of the CIA. Number 53, Hulk. And we're burning through the Avengers here with number 54, Captain America. So all the heroes seem to have a yellow border. I guess we're getting into the villains here with the gray borders. Number 55, Kingpin. 56, Sabretooth. It is rumored that Sabretooth may, in actuality, be the father of the heroes the X-Men know as Wolverine. These are all those mysterious things from my childhood. The facts that we were. What do you think? Do you think he's lying? Do you think it's real? That stuff was great, and this is where we got all that information, because most people didn't have, these 10-year-old issues or 20-year-old issues of comics to go back and read the full story. We were jumping in midstream. 57, Magneto, and the ultra-popular Venom at number 58. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 299, May of 1988. Did you know the alien costume can mimic the appearance of any clothes, thus making Venom a master of disguise? 59, Galactus. Number 60, the Mandarin. The Mandarin is responsible for awakening the dragon known as Fin Fang Foom. The Chameleon. Number 62, Super Skrull. Number 63, Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper is the older brother of Simon Williams, also known as Wonder Man. You can't use the same fact on two... That's lame. Cheap writing. Mojo, number 64. First appearance, Longshot number 3, 1985. The hero known as Longshot was originally one of Mojo's slaves. Fin Fang Foom. Jigsaw. Ooh, he's got some bare bones stats. Tombstone, first appearance, 1988. Web of Spider-Man number 35. Even though Tombstone and Joe Robinson have tried to kill each other on several occasions, Tombstone still considers Joe his best friend. Ulick, number 68. Ulick's excellent infrared vision lets him see perfectly, even in the darkest conditions. Number 69, Baron Strucker. Baron Strucker was assisted in forming Hydra by the arch-villain called the Red Skull. Mysterio, number 70. Number 71, Sauron. Number 72, Annihilus. First appearance, Fantastic Four, annual number 6, 1968. Rhino, number 73. Rhino's first mission was to kidnap the son of Spider-Man's nemesis, J. Jonah Jameson. Number 74, Absorbing Man. Number 75, Doc Ock. It's kind of interesting artwork for him there. Having the tentacle hold a cigarette and the smoke coming out of his mouth. This is a very 90s kind of thing. We hadn't quite gotten to the point of eliminating smoking from all media. Number 76, Baron Modo. Strange Tales. Number 111 was his first appearance from 1963. Baron Modo is now the consort of Umar, Empress of the Dark Dimension. Saracen? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I've never heard of this guy, but I'm not a Punisher fan. Nebula. Looking very different from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I like that. Nebula claims to be the granddaughter of the master villain called Thanos. Number 79, Puma. Number 80, Deathwatch. First appearance, Ghost Rider, Volume 2, Number 1, May 1990. This is a fresh character. When Deathwatch reads memories, his victims experience intense agony, which only adds to Deathwatch's pleasure. Almaniacal. Kang. Blackout, another character that premiered in Ghost Rider in the 1990s. Blackout used to be proud of his handsome face until he was horribly disfigured in a battle with Ghost Rider. Doesn't that happen a lot? Dr. Doom, Other villains. Number 83, Calypso. Amazing Spider-Man 1980. First appearance there. Ultron, number 84. Number 85, Thanos. We've got Death making a little cameo in his artwork. 86, Hobgoblin. 87, the Lizard. Number 88, Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom uses robotic duplicates of himself that are so flawless that no one can tell the difference. Number 89, Loki. It's got an ominous artwork there of Loki hovering over a city. Number 90, Red Skull. Now we're on to a section of these cards known as Archenemies. Spider-Man vs. Venom. Fantastic Four vs. the Skrulls. Wolverine vs. Sabretooth. These cards where the artwork was turned sideways drove me crazy as a kid because you couldn't put them in the pages and have them look good. Card number 94, Silver Surfer vs. Galactus. Number 95, Daredevil vs. Elektra. Avengers vs. Kang. Marvel's still trying to make this happen. Human Torch vs. Submariner. Spider-Man vs. Hobgoblin. Number 99, Captain America vs. Baron Zemo. First encounter, Captain America number 169, January of 1974. Punisher vs. Jigsaw gets the honor of being card 100. X-Men vs. Apocalypse. Punisher vs. Kingpin. Kingpin's one of those villains that kind of seems like he could be the main bad guy to a couple different series. Maybe I haven't read enough Punisher, but I would have put Kingpin as a main threat to Daredevil. The Thing vs. Hulk. Are they really enemies? Daredevil vs. Bullseye. Number 105, Spider-Man vs. Dr. Octopus. X-Men vs. the Sentinels. Fantastic Four vs. Galactus. 106, Wolverine vs. the Hulk. Ghost Rider vs. Deathwatch. Card 110, Doctor Strange vs. Baron Mordo. Nick Fury versus Baron Strucker. Spider-Man versus the Lizard. Silver Surfer versus Thanos. The Avengers versus Ultron. 115, Captain America versus Red Skull. Daredevil versus the Punisher. Iron Man versus Mandarin. Hulk versus Leader. Leader's one of the first characters I can think of on these arch-enemy cards that didn't have a card in the main set. Thor versus Loki. Spider-Man versus J. Jonah Jameson. There's another example. Thor versus Ulick. Silver Surfer versus Mephisto. Fantastic Four versus Doctor Doom. Card 125, X-Men versus Magneto. The last arch-rival card is Daredevil versus the Kingpin. So the Kingpin made it in here twice. Oh, we found a card out of order. Number 117, X-Men versus the Marauders. The most ruthless mutant team ever assembled, the Marauders, slaughtered hundreds of innocent Morlock mutants living underground in New York City. Just because they were there. The massacre brought the X-Men running, and the bloodbath that followed left 3 X-Men crippled. Since then, it's been an all-out war between the two groups. The Marauders even dared to corrupt the X-Men Polaris with the evil psyche of one of their own, Malice. But in the final cataclysmic battle that destroyed the X-Mansion, the X-Men defeated the Marauders and their master, Mr. Sinister. The next batch of cards highlights some of the amazing weaponry in the Marvel Universe. I think this is a great way to kind of get more information out about some of the characters and kind of a fun way for kids to, collect their favorite character on more than one card. Captain America's shield. It's got a little diagram on the back. Thor's hammer. Should have a pronunciation guide there. Daredevil's billy club. Ultimate nullifier. All information hearsay. Device may have been created before the time of this universe. Supposedly destroys only objects completely understood by potential users and destroys user as well. Never used in this dimension. Spider-Man's web shooters. Punisher's arsenal. Iron Man's armor. Card 134, the Infinity Gauntlet. Dr. Octopus's arms. Quasar's quantum bands. The Mandarin's rings. And card 138, Wolverine's claws. Ultra Hard Adamantium is used throughout Wolverine's skeleton and is an ideal platform upon which to root claws. Claws are extended through a silicone plug located in each knuckle, covered by surgically rearranged muscles. The silicone seals must periodically be replaced. Next up, we've got a few legends. 139, Captain Marvel. Bucky. The Green Goblin, the original Ghost Rider, Kraven, and Dark Phoenix. I mean, characters come back to life so often in comic books, it's kind of funny to do that. And then the rookie cards. These are new characters that are up and coming and pretty cool. And I remember a lot of these guys being popular in this card series as well as Series 3 that I collect a lot as a kid. Darkhawk. My cousin's boyfriend was collecting this series hardcore back in the day. It was, like an older kid that I looked up to, he was in high school or just out of high school. And made me think the character was super cool because he was into him. The amulet that gives Darkhawk his mysterious powers was originally sought by the evil Hobgoblin. Sleepwalker. Number 147, Rage. Only 13 years old, Rage is the youngest member in the history of the Avengers. 13? He does not look 13. X-Force, we've got a whole team as rookies here. The members of X-Force used to comprise the superhero team known as the New Mutants. The new Fantastic Four, that's a fun one to round out the rookie group here. And now we're on to teams with card 150 featuring the Fantastic Four. The Avengers, the West Coast Avengers, the X-Men, X-Factor, Excalibur, the New Warriors on 156, the Masters of Evil on 157, the Marauders on 158, and then we get some cards that kids probably thought were kind of boring. These are the explanations. 159 explains speed and strength. So this tells you a little bit about what the stats mean. Stamina and agility, intelligence and durability, and then the checklist. The checklist is card 162. There were also holograms of Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, Punisher, Mole Man, and Hulk. Those are not included in this set. Oftentimes, if you buy a complete set of cards, they'll be missing because they were very rare. I don't even know if there was one per box. Maybe one per box, maybe less. This is pretty cool. I like looking at these card sets. I might focus on cards that you wouldn't necessarily focus in on. I tend to look at some of the stuff that I don't necessarily know about or things that I think might pique people's interest. But there's no sense in me reading you Cyclops' card or Captain America's card. You know everything about those guys. I like to read some of the little lesser-known guys. It was pretty cool checking these out. Let me know if you want me to look into my Series 3 set. I have a binder with those cards in it. I don't know how complete that set is, but I could look, and if it's pretty close, either complete it or just show it off with some missing. In the comments down below, let me know which Marvel character you think it's crazy that they left out of this card set. Where's Master of Kung Fu? Was he just totally ignored at this point in the Marvel Universe? I'm sure there's lots of other characters like that. Do me a favor, hit the like button. If you want to support the channel further, consider joining us on Patreon. But thanks for hanging on the peg with me.